Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this evening. It was on this day back in 1989 that one of the most unbelievable things happened at football. Football fans went to the game and never returned. Liverpool fans went to Hillsborough Stadium and 97 supporters lost their lives. It was 96, but one lost their life later on. Celtic had a charity match with Liverpool. It was the first game that they played after the tragedy. Celtic had a charity match at Celtic Park, and it's got to be said that it was a weird game. It was a weird atmosphere. There wasn't a joyous atmosphere at the game. My recollection of that game was a Glaswegian and a Liverpudlian talking about the poll tax for the first 45 minutes of the game, and it was unbelievable. And my heart goes out to the families of the 97 Liverpool fans who passed away back in 1980s. That was preceded by the thing is that during the 1980s that wasn't the first one. If you remember the Bradford disaster, it'll be 41 years. God, it makes me feel old. 41 years this year, on the 11th of May, it'll be 41 years. The Bradford City Stadium went up in flames. Cigarettes were dropped underneath the old wooden stadium. Paper cups and stuff and bits of paper and just general rubbish that had collected under the stadium at Bradford, and that stadium went on fire. And it was televised. It was weird. There was TV cameras at the Bradford one at the game, and I think it would have been BBC at the time, and the BBC went live at Bradford showing you this football stadium on fire. So no matter what happens as fans, just remember, yes, we all have banter and we all have, hatred for other teams, but no person should go to a football game and never return. And saying that, let's move on. It is quite a somber thought because I can remember the Bradford disaster. I mean, I was just a kid at the time, but I can remember it on television and unbelievable scenes, seeing a football stadium on fire, knowing that there's just normal people wait to watch a game of football, and the stadium was on fire. Absolutely bonkers. And then obviously with the Hillsborough one in 1989. And it's weird because we're going to move on for this because I'm going to go down a rabbit hole here, and there was a time of there was quite a lot of disasters in Scotland at that time. Obviously, there was Lockerbie, and then there was one on the oil rigs as well. It was a bloody weird time, But anyway, let's move on because Celtic have tonight announced. Celtic Football Club today announced that Tom Allison has retired from the Celtic board. One down, some may say, many to go. One down and many to go. Celtic Football Club announced that Tom Allison has retired from the board of Celtic PLC. Tom, a leading Scottish businessman, has been a lifelong Celtic supporter and gave nearly 25 years of service to Celtic. And Tom joined the board of Celtic as a non-executive director in September 2001 under the chairmanship of Brian Quinn. At the time, he was chief executive of Clyde Port and later oversaw the integration of Peel Holder. Who cares? Tom brought his expertise and the experience to bear his role at Celtic as a senior independent director since 2005. The board thanks Tom for his contribution. We wish him well in his retirement. It's an interesting one because he's one of the guys that the Celtic fans collective wanted rid of. They wanted rid of Allison. Tom Allison. Tom Allison joined the board of the Celtic 2001. Tom Boyd was captain and the team were preparing for their first ever Champions League group stage match. Like Brian Wilson, Tom's tenure is now more than double the 9-year maximum widely recommended for non-executive directors under basic corporate governance standards. As a result, his ability to hold the CEO and CFO accounts have been compromised. Celtic need fresh ideas, expertise, leaders who understand the demands of modern football. Tom, your time has expired. Well, the Celtic Fans Collective will be over the moon that it has expired, and he has left the club, which means that there will be some kind of vacancy within the club in that department. With Peter Lawwell having left the building also in the last 6 months, it makes you wonder. It does make you wonder what is going on. If you remember a few months ago, Dermot Desmond had a female at Celtic Park and someone else. Was it not Willie Hockey at the time? We had a woman at Celtic Park who was a director of Leeds at one point, and she was Irish. Makes you wonder what is going on in the background at Celtic for these announcements to be coming out just before. Now, you might call me decisions to. This is what I would call the week before season ticket renewal. The season ticket renewal will be next week, the end of next week. Historically, it's been around the 23rd, 24th of April that Celtic put out season ticket renewals. Get your season ticket. It's weird that they put out an announcement like this the week before. Are Celtic in the background trying to make some room to make it look as if the fans are kind of winning? It's interesting. We'll wait and see. It'll all come out in the wash, as they say. But when you look at it, last night, the it's all very divisive, Celtic at the moment. Last night, the Celtic Supporters Limited, and another organisation, just to add into the mix. Thank you to every member who joined us tonight. The energy, ideas, the commitment in the room show exactly what this movement is all about. Supporters organised and informed and ready to drive change at our club. There has to come a point, and I can see where this is going, and it's don't know, you're going to get people that are in the Celtic Supporters Limited, they're backing them. You're going to get the Celtic Fans Collective lot that are backing them. You're going to get people that are going to back Willie Hockey and back his push. It's all going to get very messy over the summer. And the only winners will be the board, because they'll get their own way. Anyway, and now the next phase starts. Aggregate, accumulate, and activate. Our immediate call to action is to get your mates to become members. 5,000 is the target. I've noticed, I've each to their own, but you've got them coming out and saying their target is to get 5,000 people to come in and buy shares, get all your shares together. And you've got someone that's coming in and saying, well, do you know what, there's 54,000 of you, let's all back this. It's turning into it's like a political party that's in deep divide. Don't know. It's like the Yes campaign for independence. You've got half a dozen different people thinking that their ways right. It's madness. It is absolutely madness. If you want to help grow the movement, you can email the mobile number, which is info@celticsupporters.net. We'll add you to the dedicated WhatsApp group for sharing QR codes, membership links, and local activity. notification. Tonight's presentations will be sent to all members. Anyone who has any questions, please ask. We want open adult supporters to supporter dialogue. The block grows one conversation at a time. One member, one vote. Doesn't it sound very, very familiar? It's, I'm actually at the point now. We're far stronger together as a support, and having all these people having their own ideas. I mean, where are we at just now? You've got the Celtic Supporters Association, who are not backing the Celtic Fans Collective. The Celtic Fans Collective are part of the Celtic Trust. You've got the Celtic Trust and the Celtic Supporters Association vying for people to buy shares. It's all very diluted, isn't it? It's becoming, I said at the beginning of December, be careful what we wish for, because I could really see us going down the way of Manchester United. Finally getting sold to somebody that's and we're just going to go from one shit show to another. If you think what happened across the road is bad, we're just going to do it on a bigger scale. Hopefully not. Hopefully, Dermot Desmond will just dismiss, as he always does. And would that actually be a bad thing? For Dermot Desmond just to go, you've got you've got all this noise outside. They can't even agree with each other. Never mind. And then you're going to have the board that are going to have their own independent meetings, which means the fans aren't together, because as soon as the board get into the way of having independent meetings with individual groups like they've done, it breaks the togetherness. And I just think it's absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. But anyway, we digress this evening. It'll be interesting to see what happens on Friday. Someone asked, is there any news on the bounce game that was meant to be scheduled for today? You would think it would be today, because the fact that Celtic do play at the weekend, you wouldn't want any injuries, would you, for Celtic? Celtic do play on Sunday. There is the option of playing the bounce game tomorrow, but then you wouldn't have thought they would. Jim Lister's just said, Baz, I was thinking about bringing Willie McStay in for the chief scout role. Maybe Dermot Desmond is getting ready to sell big time now that the shares are sitting at a high price. Willie McStay used to be the scout years and years and years ago, mate. He'll not go back to Celtic. Football's changed. Football's changed since Willie McStay. I mean, he would love to be mentioned with it, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. What else are we going to talk about tonight? Peter Lawwell has seemingly been. Do you know what? We're getting into silly season. It is definitely getting into silly season, because you've now got allegedly Peter Lawwell coming out and saying that he was deeply concerned at the sale of Kyogo Furiashi. See, when you get to the end of this season, I'm going to make a prediction. You will get. There's going to be an infighting situation at Celtic. If we lose the league, you're going to get board members pointing fingers at the ex-manager. The ex-manager, he's head down. He's not interested in the Celtic. He's away in Dubai. He's not giving a shit. He got his nice little paycheck, brown envelope from Dermot Desmond, and told not to say a thing, whilst Dermot Desmond slated him in public. It's all going to. I think if we lose the league, I really think that it's going to get really messy at Celtic, which I don't want it to do. But with just all these reports now coming on behind closed doors, Peter Lawwell expressed some deep-held concerns on the decision to cash in on the Japanese international without having a ready replacement lined up. You've got to remember that even when Adam Ida was sold, Brendan Rodgers said no striker will be sold. without. I will not give permission for Celtic to sell a striker until another striker is in the building. Someone somewhere is lying to the fans. Don't know. But you'll wait and see. Allison's probably the reason for this mess that we're in. As a non-executive director, he doesn't. He only advises the board. Don't know. He doesn't have a day-to-day running. He should be there to guide the hierarchy of Celtic in the right direction. And it doesn't seem to be that he's doing it. Some of incorrect facts about it here for start. Brendan is in Saudi, not Dubai. Well, fucking either way, Bommy, he doesn't give a fuck about Celtic, does he? Saudi, Dubai, it's all the same shit to me. It's all the same chic shit that I don't really care about and I've no interest in. Don't know, it's overrated, overpaid football players playing in for blood money as far as I'm concerned. So, but anyway, there you go. As easy as that. And I think that's let me just check. Ay ay ay. Anyway, we digress, as they say. So, Selim Adam was crazy. Yeah, I think it is that time of the season where it's getting to squeaky bum time, and you're going to get lots of people pointing fingers saying it was his fault, it was his fault, it was his fault. Do you know what? You know, you've even got people coming out and saying John Kennedy didn't have the power that he used to have. What power did John Kennedy have at Celtic? Do you know, you're getting some crazy stuff getting put out. But as if we win the league, I mean, Nancy still qualifies for a winner's medal. That's a big if, Jim. Big if. The Milky Coo's got it right. Camel shit, camel shit, camel shit, camel shit, and even more camel shit. Sheep shake shit. Lowell wasn't the CEO. He was responsible for the day-to-day operations. He wasn't the CEO. That was Nicholson. And need to get rid of Lowell now. Lowell's resigned, mate. Oh, anyway, right, we digress, as they say. So there's no news about the bounce game if it happened today or if it happens tomorrow. Um, it's going to be one of those ones where we're now sitting and waiting for Martin O'Neill to have his press conference on Friday because it doesn't look like anything will get released by Celtic telling us if there was any injuries, if the players came through. It's a case of sit your arse and wait till Friday, as always. Anyway, I'm away to watch some football. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.